Alright, so now that we've got this all figured out, we should, hopefully you figured out what green is. For my robot, green is around 85 or so. For yours, it might be slightly different. But for me, it's around 85. So now what we're going to do is we need to figure out how we're going to set this all up, so that way we can follow the cube. So what we're going to do is we're going to use if statements to figure out which place the cube is. So we're going to have an if. So we'll go ahead and we'll get that set up. So if, and then we have the brackets. So now how do we know if it's in front of us? Well, we can check to see if it equals 85. But what if it's a little bit off? What if yours is reading 84? Like you turned off the lights, or it's a little bit farther away. So what we want to do is, rather than see if our hue is equal to a number, in my case 85, we want to see if it's within a range near 85. So for that, it'll look something like this. So we'll read the color sensor, and we'll check to see if it's greater than 80. So I did mine by plus or minus 5. So the value that I wanted was 85. So if it's greater than 80, and that's what this double and here means, is and it's less than 90, then we know that it's somewhere around 85, and so it's probably the color green. So if the middle color sensor is seeing the color green, what do we want to do? Well, in this case, we want to go forward. So we'll do a pair of set motor speeds for the left and right, and I just have mine moving at speed 30, so that way it's slow enough that you can see what's happening. You can set it to whatever speed you want, though. So this right here should allow us to see if we're seeing the color sensor in front of us. Now what we want to do is, once we see it in front of us, once we remove it, we want the robot to stop. So we need to add the else part to this. So else, what do we need to do? So if we don't see it in front of us, we need to stop. So we'll tell the motors to stop. And so now you should have the code here to where it'll see what color it's reading, display it onto the LED, display it on the screen. If it sees green in front of it, it'll drive forward. And if you remove it, it'll stop. So now let's add in the turning left and right. So to do that, we don't want to do a separate else if, because we're controlling the same motors. So what we're going to do is we're going to add an else if in the middle. So to turn left and right, it'll look very similar. So we'll check the middle. If the middle doesn't see, we'll check the left. And this should look about the same. So get color, left color. If it's greater than 80 and less than 90, then we know it's somewhere around our target of 85. So we can go ahead and do the turn. And then we'll do the same for the right side. We'll add it in. So if right color is greater than 80 and less than 90, we are probably seeing green, so we can turn to the right. And if none of these up above are seeing green, then we'll stop. So this code here should allow your robot to follow the color as you move it around.